Welcome, I'm here at Sandhurst Lake down in Yateley, and there's a rig that I'm using at the moment on this lake. I've been very successful over the years, on and off, fishing this lake and other lakes all around the country. This is a Combi-Rig where you've got a stiff part and you've got a supple part near the hook end, and what I do is I'll show you how to tie this up, why it works so well, and why it's been very successful for me and my friends over the years. Right, I'm going to first of all show you how I set up the hook with the swivel and the hook stop before I start attaching the Trickster heavy braid, and then attaching that finally to the 25-pound trick link with a knot, which I'll show you how to attach the supple and the stiff part together. First of all, what I do is I get one of these small mini rig swivels, put it onto the hook. Now we want to put one of the hook stops onto here to stop the mini swivel coming off when we're casting. So there we go, we stick one of these on, a little bit fiddly but worth it in the end. Stick one of those on like that, pull that round so it's flush with roughly, I like to have it so it's flush with the barb. So the hook stop is in line and flush with the barb of the mugger. So let's set that part up. Now we're going to put the Trickster heavy on and tie a Palomar knot. Just take a length of this, I'd say probably about 10-12 inches of the Trickster heavy. It's quite silty, the area I'm fishing out here, so hence why I'm using the silty coloured one. Or if it's more in the springtime, I'd use the green weed one or the brown one over gravel. It's up to you really, depending on what you're fishing over. Okay, let's loop up the length of Trickster through the eye there, like that. One tag end and then the other tag end. Wet it a little bit so it goes through. That's two tag ends like that. So like so. And we're going to tie the polymer knot. Do a loop. Bring the loop back through the loop that you've made. Pull it down and over the hook. So you're passing the hook through the loop that you've made. Pull both ends. You can see there that it's coming together nicely. Pull both ends, making sure not to get this swivel caught up in there at all. So if it gets caught up or in the loop, move it out and position it at the end there. Right, tease that knot down like so. Pull that tight on both ends. You can see there you've got a flush knot, and that will never slip or come undone. Really good knot that one, the Palomar knot. Trim one of the tag ends, only one, like so. This is going to be the base of our flexible pop-up, a flexible part of the rig. What we're going to do now is attach the trick link, tying two back-to-back grinners along to this section and having a very small supple part, and then we'll apply the putty there, and just this supple part's going to move with the trick link going to be slightly stiffer. Makes it very difficult for the fish to eject the pop-up, and hence why it's such a successful rig. Right, let's get that's the first part done. We're going to get the length of trick link, 25-pound I like. Comes in 20-pound as well. I like the 25 pounds, it's just that little bit stiffer. It's a lovely colour, you can see, disappears in the water really nicely, especially when you're fishing these tricky waters. So pull off about a foot of that, I'd say. You've got your length there. You get your original supple hook link. And lay them together like that. So you've got one, the trick link, and you've got your trickster next to each other. Now what we do is, to create this knot, is just do a loop, like so. Pull that down, holding it underneath your thumb. So your thumb there. Small loop as possible. Put the tag end up once, twice, 3 times. 3 times. There we go. And again, tease that down, because we want to make this as small as possible. Tease it down. Tease it down. You want to make this supple part of the rig small as possible. So there you go. There's a knot. Pull that tight. As you can see there, you've got about half an inch, 3/4 of an inch. Turn the rig around. Now use your trick link. Do the same. Tie a loop, but only put this through twice this time. Once, twice, like so. And tease that down, pull in the trick link. Tease that down nicely like that. Pull that tight, and what that does is, it may look like a very simple knot, which it is, but you're creating 2 knots either side. One on the braid, one on the trick link, and that gets pulled together, and it just won't come off or break or anything like that. So then we trim the trick link off, and a little trick here to make it even more safe. Use your lighter, just dab the end of the trick link like that. Count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just dab it like so. Trim off your excess trickster. And there you go. There's your combi link tied between your trickster and your trick link with a really easy, simple knot that anyone can do. Don't forget to trim it off, blob it. And what that does, leave you that little bit of trick link and your trickster. It's a nice grip for when you put your putty on, to keep your pop-up balance just right. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a tiny little bit of shrink tube just to the end there, one to protect the knot and to make sure that it kicks over when the fish picks up the rig. So we just cut off a small little piece, like that, really small. Thread that on. The trick here is to get it over, but all you want to do is get it so you're only going to have a tiny little bit there. So what you don't want to do is negate the gape of the hook. So what we'll do now, we'll fire up the kettle and we'll shrink that into place. So there we go, watching your fingers, just shrink that down like so, turn it off, shrink it down like so. It creates a little bit of curve, but what it doesn't is make such a curve that negates the wideness of that gape, which is really important for it flipping as well. Right, let's take a little bit of the putty which has been moulded a lot better for use by leaving it on the kettle. Just makes it a lot more easier to use and more pliable. Put that on our link that we've made by attaching the trickster and the trick link together. we don't have to worry about that falling off. There we go. So much more easier to use, the tungsten putty. There we go. And there's the basis of our rig. We've got the stiff trick link, £25, and you've got the very pliable, very movable Trickster Heavy attached to our size 6 mugger. Now what we're going to do is attach the bait, and which is going to be a nice bright pop-up with a little bit of a difference as well, with some plastic maggots, which we'll show you how to do that as well. So let's do that next. Right, to attach our pop-up, it's a really simple way to do it. There's not lots of tying or doing loops and loops, all things like that you find with other rigs. Just get a length of dental floss or some type of floss, put it through the eye of the swivel like so. So you've got a length there, doubled over. Then we get our bait. This is one of my own 4-season pop-ups from Mistral. As you can see, really nice and bright for this time of year, or any time of year. Something a bit bright does seem to work. Thread that onto the 2 bits of floss. There we go, pull that through, and the swivel, the mini swivel there, the mini rig swivel, push that onto there, but not only onto the barrel. You don't want to push it too far on, otherwise you won't get that movement that the swivel gives you, that mini swivel, that movement of 360 and up and down and everything. You push it on more, that's going to stop it from moving. Right, something else that I've been using quite a lot is these, they're called the maggot ball system. If you put 4 or 5 or 6 of them together, you create like a ball of plastic maggots. They come in various different colours, yellow, white, orange, pink, red. I've been using the pink and white a lot this year, but they're like a little flower of plastic maggots. Really pliable, really nice, really different. So I've been attaching one of those to my pop-ups on this particular rig, on my Combi-Rig, with some great success, especially in the colder months, with the pink one or a white one. So we just thread that on, just like we did with our pop-up, thread it onto the dental floss, pull it through, and as you can see, we just push it down like that, so it sits on top of your pop-up. Next thing, we want to secure that on, so we tie a little loop on there, stick on a little, pull that tight, little bait stop. I do 3, 1, 2, 3, and pull it down quite a lot to make these plastic maggots really stick up. Trim that off, and the all important to make sure it doesn't come off when you cast, just give it a little flash of the light like that, and that seals it in, and that won't move at all. Well, here's the finished rig. Really versatile Combi-Rig, using £25 trick link as the stiff part, then the supple part is the Trickster Heavy. Size 6 or even 8 mugger or continental mugger if you're fishing a really weedy water. Nice 15mm pop up there. You can use a 10mm or 12mm as well. There's something a little bit different, the plastic maggots of the maggot ball system. The reason why I think this rig works so well is you've got the 2 different areas there. You've got the pop up, which is balanced nicely. You've got the stiff part and you've got the supple part. So when the fish takes the rig in, it finds it difficult to actually get rid of it because of this is quite stiff, the trick link. But it can move about in the mouth 360 degrees, any direction, and will grab hold inside the mouth, the lips, or when it ejects or when it moves. It's been very successful for me. There's the Combi link. Give it a go, tie it up, you won't be disappointed.